Joining us now from Washington, United States Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton of New York. Senator, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you,
met
Dan.
with President Bush today. What happened?
Well, Dan, we went to the White House, and a small group of us, Senator Schumer, the senators from Virginia, and I met with the president, his security team in the Oval Office. We received a briefing about what is currently the outlook for return to normalcy, other security considerations. We discussed the upcoming trip that we will make with the president tomorrow to New York. I'm delighted that he'll be able to come and see firsthand what you've been reporting, and I thank you for that and what I saw yesterday. And he pledged his support for some significant resources, $20 billion for New York and the other states that were directly impacted by this attack. We then went into a larger meeting where the president expressed his resolute determination to follow through on the following up of the perpetrators, finding where they are, bringing them to reckoning, and to make it clear that every nation has to either be with us or against us. Those who harbor terrorists or who finance them are going to pay a price.
Senator, there's talk of what amounts to a new Marshall Plan to help rebuild New York City. Was that discussed with the president today directly?
Well, those words weren't used, Dan, but that's what we're facing. The devastation, as you have seen, is just overwhelming. We not only have the physical destruction that I saw from a helicopter yesterday and from the ground later, which has to be dealt with, but everything you can't see, the communications that don't work, the generators that don't work, the subway that's closed. We have the human toll, the loss of life, the task of continuing to try to rescue anyone we can find alive, the task of bringing home to everyone who's lost someone, their loved one, the counseling, the grief counseling, the mental health services, the people who lost their jobs. You know, we lost, we think, probably about 100 to 150,000 jobs. There weren't just high-paid financial traders, but, you know, janitors who have no source of income now. And most poignantly, we've got orphans, and we've got widows and widowers and parents who've lost their children. So it's going to be a massive undertaking, but I'm absolutely confident that with the president's support, the support of my colleagues, America is going to stand with and stand behind New York.
Senator Clinton, you lived in the White House for 8 years while your husband's administration tried to deal with Osama bin Laden. Did you ever, in your wildest imaginations, believe this kind of thing could happen?
Well, Dan, I've always been very concerned about the threat of terrorism. I consider that our #1 homeland threat. But I did not imagine the planning and the calculation, the total cold-hearted evil that motivated the attacks that we saw. I think it's imperative that we support the president in his efforts to root out whoever did this and all of that individuals or institutions or states' involvement. But I would also say that this is a difficult war we are going to be waging. If it were easy, we could have figured it out before this terrible tragedy. I remember very well being in the White House and the difficulty of getting good intelligence, of knowing where a suspected terrorist is, of having to count on people whose loyalties are not to the United States, but who might, for their own reasons, have provided essential information for one of our missions. The president understands this. He's fully aware that it's going to take a lot of patience and painstaking planning, and we're going to support him.
Senator Clinton, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you for the work you're doing and all of your colleagues.
Thank you, Senator.